Okay, good. So I just want you to hang. I just want you to hang on to these. Does everyone know that before anyone has an interview now, we've implemented a new process. So you have a 15-minute meeting. That's required with me and or Wilma or really any staff member. Did you guys know about that? No? Okay, so what we are going to review in your 15-minute meeting is just basically, what you're going to wear. Do you have all the letters? Do you have your professional references? We're just going to make sure you're prepared. So essentially what's in this binder, we're going to review. We want to make sure you do have this. So hold on to this little portfolio. All right. So if you guys open your notebooks, I want to just go over this agreement. So can you guys, and I know it seems a little juvenile, but I just want to go over this, and I do want everyone to sign it. So if you can start reading, Vernita. Classes. You don't have a book?
Schedule work days and hours. Classes will be held twice a week, 3 hours per session. In addition, students will be required to job search a minimum of 10 hours per week.
Okay, so even though this class is held twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do want you to know that you are required to do job searching, a minimum of 2 hours per week. Okay. So the job searching is going to occur partly in here, but there's going to be a lot of stuff covered in this class, so we also need to know that you're doing job searching outside of class, okay? Luke?
Okay, maybe I'm jumping the gun and everybody else just put me on hold. I've been a little worried about something. Since coming to the close of my classes, and that is now they're starting their job search and starting to put our resumes out there. My concern is I may put my resume out there and get a bite and somebody offer me a job as opposed to me not finishing my classes.
Okay. So
and my thing is I still don't have the training with Excel and
So are you in advance now?
right.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of torn between that. Like I'm not sure how to professionally handle it. If I put my resume out there and I'm still not finished school. Like I'm not sure.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
You're really confident. So it takes a while to find a job.
Okay.
I would encourage you to start getting yourself out there, because even if you, like, literally, and I use my husband a lot as an example, but he started job searching in the fall. He had an interview in, I want to say, November. That was like the beginning of the process. He still hasn't started the job.
Okay.
So it takes a while to go through the interview process, to go through the application process. If a company responds, they're going to want to interview you. They're not going to just be like, oh, Luce, you have an amazing typing speed. I know you're great. I'm going to hire you on the spot. So they're going to want to go through the process with you. And I think by the time the process is gone through, you'll be at a point where you can make that decision with, with Marie or whoever the advanced teacher and your other instructors are.
Okay, thank you.
Same thing. For my job goal, a lot of the positions do have Excel. They want you to know Excel.
Yeah.
And I know it's coming, but
Yeah.
I don't have it yet.
Okay, and that's a good thing to wonder about. Did that kind of answer your questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that we would encourage you to start looking for things. Then it's good to know that you want to make sure you complete advance.
or there's just job searching, what types of jobs, requirements? Are they to apply for jobs?
You have, yeah, no, that's a good clarification. So we're gonna go over in TNS2 more so the job search process. We're gonna go over, you know, what to do if you have a background interview. So it's more preparation and more how you search. You don't need to apply to a certain number of jobs. We want you to like sign up on electronic job boards. We want you to start getting email alerts from Indeed and Idealist. And the more that you look at jobs, like I still get job alerts because I want to know what's out there. You know, I want to look at jobs and have an idea of what's going on in my field and what the different opportunities are. So I don't think, so we're not saying like if you're in this class, you need to apply to jobs. We're saying we're going to teach you, like we're just going to do an overview of what you need to know for the job search process. So thanks for clarifying, Marie, because I don't think I understood that. Does that clarify more?
Yes.
Okay. So this is more of a job search class, but job search preparation. So we're going to get you signed up for the job boards, and you know, the more you're ready to start searching for a job, the quicker it'll come.
I kind of put myself out there, and someone expected me to resubmit my resume.
Ooh.
It was sequential format because that's the company's policy.
Right.
So that's pretty much why
That's
I was
awesome.
I took in, was talking to Karen. It was one of the positions, you know, Karen sends us jobs from, is it Karen?
Oh, Kim.
Karen, I'm
Kim.
sorry. Kim sent one of the jobs on yesterday, and on my break, I just applied, and within that same day, she wrote me back by the time I had got home, and I just sent the email. So I'm sitting here now like, I don't know what to do. I don't. So that's why I'm, you know, asking.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you have a specific question like that, you can say yes after class. If there's like literally you're getting responses from a job and you're not prepared to take it
Right.
yet because you're not done your classes. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
sure.
Right.
Alright, so we are going through the essential responsibilities of this job, or of this class rather. I'm not confused. So, Andrea, can you read over the bullets for me?
Abide by all academy guidelines and procedures. Attend every scheduled class period on time. Lateness of 30 minutes will result in a full 3-hour makeup class within 1 week of this class. Call Emily Kohler
Yeah.
Wilma.
And instead of Wilma, we're going to do Marie. So if you guys want to just cross off Wilma and put in Marie for now,
I'm sorry, I didn't.
if they're going to be late to jobs to this class. Yes.
Okay. Is the extension different though?
Yeah.
328.
B28?
Yes.
Thank
Well,
you.
so good.
Okay. Keep going.
I say cross out these.
Wilma and put in
Brings all
Marie.
class materials to class each week. Actively participate in all classroom activities and discussions, out of class activities, and job search. Prepare all in class. I don't know what YIC is.
Okay.
And homework assignments by the scheduled due dates. Meet the minimum requirement of 10 hours for out-of-class job searching and applications each week. Independent and class typing drills will still be required.
So I want to stress, I know the typing is something we're starting to emphasize a lot, but it's because you need to have minimums for certain jobs. Like, I know that Melissa is well aware that you need to have a minimum typing speed for a job at Inspiritech. So there's a lot of companies where you, even to get in the door, you need to have a minimum typing speed. So that's why we're stressing typing this semester. Okay.
Maintain your employment tracking form.
So does everyone know what that is? No? Okay, so we'll go over that.
Now, check Academy email at least twice each week in between scheduled TNS class periods.
calendar of all scheduled appointments, classes, meetings, and interviews. Notify us immediately if you have any difficulties. And this is important. Email instructors an updated copy of your resume whenever there are additions or changes. So you guys all have a resume, or you will have a resume that Seth has done for you. Seth's a professional resume writer, so it's a nice perk. It's one of the perks of being an academy student, that you get your resume professionally done. But if Dale changes her phone number, and I'm trying to get in touch with her because I have a hot job lead, but the phone number I'm calling goes to voicemail or is dead, then I'm not able to get a hold of her if I send out her resume with the wrong phone number. And what's worse, the employer is trying to get a hold of her and it's dead. It's a deadline. That makes her look bad and that makes us look bad. So anytime you update your resume, once you have them, they're yours. They're your responsibility. You can make any changes or additions to them, but we need to know about them. We need to make sure that we are both sending employers the same resume and the same copy. So just update us. If you make any changes, if your phone number is wrong, change it and email it to us. The resume is yours. It is essential that once you have it from Seth, you review it, you make sure all the information is accurate. He's human. There's sometimes typos. Sometimes he writes your address wrong, your phone number wrong. So there's, pretty commonly typos in there, so we need you to check those and make sure there aren't any typos. You don't want any spelling errors in it. You want to do your own spell check, okay? So the objectives. I'm sorry. Do you have a question?
Just one question, Emily. Those of us that have internships, should that also be
That should be on your resume.
Okay.
So it should be because internships, we're viewing them as current experience.
Okay.
It's kind of like a substitution for some people for current work experience, right? So instead of that job, you're just going to you're still going to put the details of it,
Right.
but then in parentheses, you'll just put internship.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, well, that's not on my,
It's not on your resume yet?
and he hasn't done it yet, and I know.
Okay. So those of you who are saying this, you need to make sure your internships are on there.
Right.
Because internships are, again, an important part of, academy and getting a job, getting those connections. Alright, so for this class, we want to make sure that you register with your local CareerLink office, Urban League, and we want you to create employer accounts or register for accounts on Recruit Disability, CareerLink, Ability Jobs, and GettingHired.com. You have to actively participate in individual job search and tracking your application and interviews weekly. Okay? So then there's an estimated time. Maintain a tracking sheet and binder for all job applications. This is a great way, this portfolio that I just handed out. We don't want it to get sloppy and really full, but you want to maybe use that to maintain some of it. Participate in mock interviews, attend job fairs. That you're going to see we have a job fair that's actually coming up on Friday. It's a great opportunity because unlike others, I think this one hasn't been well advertised, which means that you might have a better chance of getting your resume to employers. So it's at, I want to say 23rd in Jefferson. There's a slide on it, so we'll show you in a second. 23rd in Jefferson, I want to say it's from 2 to 4 on Friday. I spoke with the woman who's organizing it. She's stressed that last time she had it, people came up literally in their pajamas. So you want to, I know, I was appalled, but you want to make sure you dress professionally, obviously. And you want to make sure you bring copies to your resume because she kind of has a low bar. She's not, so we want to show her and prove to her that not everyone is going to come that ill prepared. Okay? So that's the job fair. So any job fair that you guys see, please bring it to my attention. because there's only so many job fairs we hear about. If you hear of one, bring it to the class, because the more people that can go, the better. And then the more likely it is that they're going to have good employers in the future. Okay? So you are required to attend at least one job fair. I've been trying to find some. I've only seen like one now and one in March. So the monthly thing, I'm going to kind of give you a buy on that. But we do want you to require as many job fairs as possible and that are announced. Okay, this is also important, especially to Kim, who is going to be helping you with individual job search. Its job seekers will have at least 2 to 3 versions of their cover letters and resumes saved for use in different employment situations. So Kim, can you tell me a little about why you think it's so important for people to have different cover letters?
Hello. So what I do is we're trying to maximize, get your resume and everything out. So since it's just one of me and there's a bunch of you, so when we apply, if your job role is administrative assistant, customer service, you're going to be applying to the same types of jobs over and over and over again. So we want to have a set cover letter that all we have to do is kind of change the name, rechange the date, the address on top, and that we can constantly send out. And if your cover letter is already ready, especially if you're working with me, I'll put your resume in your cover letter. I'll save it to a database. We have a database, and I'll do it for you. I'll actually forward them for you. Because right now when I'm working with Melissa, we're just applying and applying and applying. And when everything's already ready and together and you have that cover letter, because right now most formal positions ask for a cover letter and a resume. They're not really asking you too much of. So you can submit your resume on CareerBuilder, but they have fishnets. What they do is the HR people have fishnets, and they're looking for keywords, and they're looking for certain skills. They want it concise. They want to know that you can do it. In your cover letter, it's really the first thing that they see, because you're going for a clerical, customer service, or administrative position. So you're going to be writing. So your cover letter is so important, because if you're going for something that's clerical, they're looking at that as the first entrance of your skill set. And so it's really important to already kind of have it together, so that when you go to sit down and job search, that you're most efficient. Because if we sit down and we have to rewrite your entire cover letter, now we have to write your cover letter, which is going to take probably like an hour or two, because you want to get your wording right. And so while you have the help from Emily and them trying to tell you what the keywords are, because there are words that they look for that stick out.
That's why, when you are applying to a job, you want to print out that job description, right?
And tailor it.
And tailor it. So there's going to be words that are in each job description that you may or may not have in your resume. So you remember we did this activity in TNS1 where we would highlight or underline those keywords? So you want to make sure those keywords that you've highlighted or underlined are incorporated into your resume. So that's why you're going to have a few different versions.
And it's really good, like when you're writing your cover letter and your resume, look at the positions that you want. If you're looking for customer service, go on CareerBuilder, go on Indeed, go on Idealist, and look at how they write it and look what their requirements are. And so when you're writing your cover letter, kind of just stick those words in, the skill set that they're looking for. Just kind of put them in there, because some of them don't read it. They send it through the electronic filter, and the filter looks for the words, and they only read the ones that are flagged. So if you can just, like when you're just creating your kind of template for it, if you kind of do the background research, it'll be so much easier during the job search process, which is long, arduous, and tedious to get to maximize your time. And it'll make things so much easier. And like also for hospitals, hotels, they have really, really long applications that generally have a test in them. So kind of be aware of that when you start to like formulate your resume and they ask certain questions. But that's just something to think about when you get ready to job search, and when you decide how to kind of prioritize which jobs you're going to do. Like if you're going to do a hotel or a hospital, set aside at least an hour, because the applications are much longer. Same thing for something federal, they're longer. Whereas if you already have your cover letter and your resume, you can email 30 people in like 15 minutes. Because all you're doing is highlighting and changing the name and changing the I found this on I was so excited to see this. I found this on Indeed, and you're kind of just changing the job search engine that you picked, the name and the position. But if your career goal is administrative assistant, that stays the same. Only thing you're changing is the company itself. So, do you have any questions?
And you say go on what site?
Indeed, Career Builder. I feel like Idealist is a really good one because of how the format is in terms of being able to read it.
What is it?
Idealist.org.
And we'll talk about the specific electronic job boards. I just wanted to give a quick overview. That was great. Thank you. So again, you guys can sign those agreements, just kind of letting you know, or letting us know that you're aware of what's expected of you. That would be great. We're going to come around and look at those. And then while we do that, I'm going to quickly go over the progress reports. So there's different things you're all going to be graded on, right, in every class? Janine, are you with me? Okay. So there's 5 things here. One of them is your finalized resume. You should all get 100% for that because all you have to do is, you know, what we already talked about. Look over it, make sure it's right, and know where it's saved. I can't stress that enough. So many people are like, oh, I don't know where my resume is. Once you receive it, it's always going to be in your email, right? So Seth or I will email it to you. So it's always in your email, but then you want to save it in your TNS2 or job search folder and make changes to it there. Okay? So it should be definitely in your email, and secondly in that TNS2 folder once you receive it. So the next part we're going to grade you on is advanced interview preparation. You know, do you attend job fairs? Are job fairs, mock interviews? And are you prepared? So we'll go over that, the career fair strategy and implementation plan. So that's like, you know what you're doing. You're attending job fairs. You are actually applying to jobs, or you're prepared to apply for jobs. So Luz, if you don't want to apply for jobs yet, that's okay. Your career fair strategy is going to maybe be starting to apply for jobs a little later than some other people. But you know what your implementation plan is because you're going to be signed up already for Career Builder, for Idealist, for Indeed. So you're going to have that username and profile created so that when you're ready, and you're going to be receiving those job alerts, so when you're ready, you're going to be able to jump on it. Next thing is the posting of applications on electronic job boards. So that kind of goes together, right? You want to make sure that you're signed into electronic job boards like Kim talked about, and that you're posting your application on those sites. And then of course your participation and attitude. So it seems like a lot of people don't have the tracking sheet yet, right? So we're gonna, over break, which is in 10 minutes, I'm gonna email it to everyone. But I want to quickly just kind of show you what it's going to look like. So this is what it looks like, all right? You can have your own tracking sheet. Do not feel that you have to have this one. This is just the one that I used, and like me and my husband is actually much more type A than I am. So he, you know, created this and effectively and efficiently used it when he was looking for a job. If you would prefer to have a hard copy and track your jobs that way, don't use this. This should not be printed out. This is for you and your computer. If you want to have a job tracking sheet, I think there's one in there, or if not, we can print out some others for you. The way to use this is, so there's different tabs, right? Everyone is familiar with different tabs in Excel. You're fine. Everyone's familiar with these different tabs. So what's this tab down here, Gerald?
No.
That we're on right now. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's the different sheets, I believe it was.
Okay, so right now we're on the Opportunities tab, right? And can everyone see this? So there's different columns. It's the position. So what position are you applying for? that should be easy enough to fill out, right? Well, no, it's going to be specific to each company and each job you applied for.
Blacklist.
So sometimes it'll be worded help desk support. Other times it's going to be worded IT help desk. You know, like, so it's a minor change, but you want to be aware of what the language is that they use. Then you're going to put your applied date. So the date that you actually submitted your application and resume. You're going to put the contact. So do we ever write cover letters to whom it may concern?
No.
Okay. So we always are going to have a contact. May not be the best contact, but it's going to be a contact at the company, right? So that's where you're going to list the contact, right in there. So, you know, it's a little redundant, but you want to make sure you have your cover sheet, your cover letter, and then from there you're able to fill this information out. So your contact's email address, if you have it, because that's usually going to be the best way to get in touch with them. Your contact's phone number. The location you don't have to have. That was just for me because I was looking for jobs in and out of Philadelphia. Whether or not you've sent a thank you. So this isn't going to occur till after you've done the interview. So maybe but it is going to occur. So I'm going to do a double line right there. Alright, so the thank you and then the status. So, you know, if you're waiting, this is again very type A. So you don't have to have every single thing filled out, but I want you to start filling this out because it's a good thing to track the jobs you've applied for. The next tab down here, so you guys see, again, there's different tabs. The next tab is the job sites tab. Now this whole thing, just like your resume, is yours. So I want you to make changes to it, make additions to it, you know, so on and so forth. I just listed a few that I was using or have used. You know, and instead of Career Builder, I'm going to put Indeed. Oh, I already have that. Alright, I'm going to put Idealist. I like Career Builder and I like Monster, but can someone tell me why I may not sign up for them? Or you want to sign up for them, but why aren't I listing them here? Kim, we talked about it, so what do you think?
Oh, I want to understand career.
Yeah.
Monster.
So, Career Builder and Monster are both huge sites, right?
Yeah,
Everyone's
it's really
familiar
hard
with
to get
them.
involved with
Right.
that.
It's hard to get a callback.
Because of the flow, they get so many people inundating them, and what they do is they let you save your resume. So it's very much your access to an actual HR person is so much larger. Because they'll send you and they'll let you just apply.
And it's a great site. Like,
It is.
so sign up for them if you want, but they're just not on my sheet right now.
Yeah, I've been with them for the last 6 years.
I think
Yeah.
I had one callback from Career Builder, and I was shocked
Yeah.
I have
and
one
amazed.
within 6 years, so.
Right.
I get it.
So then the next tab, again, is the prospects tab. So these are just like large companies in Philadelphia that I thought would be worth looking at. Please add to all of these tabs. These are just the beginning of lists. Okay? And the next tab is contacts. So this is like if you're talking to someone you used to work with, and he or she is now at a different organization. It was helpful for me to jot down those people and kind of like have a actual list of my contacts and of my network, because then you want to contact them. You want to ask them, you know, what their recommendation is for you looking for a job. It's all about networking here, right, Tanine? So we want to make sure that we network and we keep track of that, because the more people that we know about, the more people we get recommendations from, the better. So that's the job tracking spreadsheet. These tabs, the last three that I went over, are still important, but this opportunities tab is the most important one, and that's the one we're going to be checking and looking for. So definitely, you know, fill that tab out, okay? I'll be sending this to you guys over break. Any questions on it? And again, if you do not want to use it in Excel and have it electronically, then you need to make sure you are filling out a job tracking sheet here. So if you turn to page 9, if you turn to page 9, there is a tracking record for potential employment. So that's just like an example of something you could use. Okay? So if you don't want to use the electronic one, please make sure that you use this one right here. Okay? Any questions on job tracking? We are going to be collecting these electronically, or checking them to make sure that you're filling it out probably once a week. So you do want to make sure you're keeping up to date with it and putting in the jobs you've applied to once you start applying to jobs. Okay? Denise?
Billy, should we make copies of this tracking record before we use it?
If you are not, so anyone who raise your hand if you don't want to use the Excel version. Okay, so then the three of you, I'd definitely make a copy of that page, number 9, and maybe put it in like the back of your book or something like that, because it's just an example. Luce?
Dealing with the different websites for finding jobs, how can we avoid, or how can I avoid, because I'm not familiar with what's really authentic. I know some of the big name ones, but I'm sure there are little websites with job findings. I've been getting some since I've signed up for Indeed.com. I've noticed some other ones that have kind of slipped in, like find a job application and work now in America. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of these places. So me not being familiar with them, I'm a little leery as to going on those websites, giving up my information, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure who I'm dealing with.
No, I'm really glad you asked that.
So how do we begin?
So there's certain websites that we're going to go over that we definitely want you to sign up for. Okay, like the Indeed, like the Idealist.
Yeah.
Recruit Disability. Everyone who has, everyone here should have their website or their resume on that website. So don't worry about signing up for those until we cover it.
Okay. Thank you.
Because this is, and I want to stress this, if you sign up for a Monster or any site really, and someone else contacts you, please be really cautious about signing up for that site. I can't tell you the number of people who literally are like bombarded with emails or from the companies, calls. Once you sign up, you know how like you'll sign up for a career builder or something, and then they'll be like, oh, do you want to college? Do you want to go back to school? Something like that. You put in your information, a lot of information, they start calling you all the time.
Yeah.
So be very cautious about that.
Yeah.
We're going to recommend specific sites because they're ones that we know aren't spam. But otherwise, you're going to get a lot of spam, misinformation, and just be really cautious with signing up for anything on the web. Never give anyone your social security number, your credit card information. None of this right now should you be paying for, so there's no reason you should give your credit card information. So, there's definitely specific sites we'll recommend, but please be cautious when putting your information on the internet. All right, so we're gonna go on break. My watch says 11, so 11:15 or 11:10 it looks like. If you can be back by then, that would be great. Thanks, guys. Oh, will you? Thank you. And all. Alright, so the other thing I want to do is,